Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. We're closing out the work week with humid and hot temps, but that did not stop people from coming to the summer block party in the Dallas Arts District. The party celebrates the arts and the LGBTQ culture. We'll continue to feel the heat before the rain chances start to end the weekend and start the next week. We begin with Fox 4 meteorologist Alberto Romero.
That's correct. Yeah, it was a hot one, and it's just going to get even warmer as we head into the weekend with the humidity coming into play as well. Looking outside right now, we are seeing the camera just bouncing around a little bit, though. It's still kind of breezy across Dallas with the winds from the south at about 10 to 15, maybe 18 miles an hour, though. As far as the temperatures outside, though, we're finally into the 80s for DFW. That's the official reporting station for North Texas. 87 at the airport, 92 still in Fort Worth, 91 Dallas, 91 Granbury. And the rest of us, pretty uniform, mid to upper 80s. One of the cooler spots right now, Paris coming in at 81 degrees, and a lot of us are jealous of that right now. But as far as the radar, it is quiet for us tonight. It's going to be quiet for us mostly on Saturday as well. Sunday, we'll start seeing a few more showers and thunderstorms, especially across DFW and areas to the east and southeast. And then our rain chances really do ramp up just a little bit, though. Tonight, though, we're not really expecting a whole lot. Mostly quiet for us. Temperatures getting down to about 77 degrees for your overnight low. And then we'll have a good amount of sunshine in play for your Saturday, a high of around 96 to 97. And the winds will remain breezy from the southeast, again, pumping in that Gulf moisture, about 10 to 18 miles per hour. And then Sunday, that's when we really start seeing our better chance for rain for this upcoming weekend out here. 30% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Nothing too widespread. Unfortunately, not all of us will see the rain, but we do have increasing rain chances as we head into the upcoming work week. I'll break that down for you here in just a moment.
Thanks, Alberto. The family of the man who died from his injuries after an attack at a Lake Highlands Home Depot parking lot is trying to come to terms with the tragedy. 69-year-old Richard Dell had just retired and was about to start a new chapter in his life. Instead, police say a woman approached him and her accomplice killed him. Fox 4's Alex Boyer spoke with the victim's sister. Alex.
I did, Clarice, and this has been a very difficult time for Dell's family coping with his sudden loss. You know, this incident happened back on April 11th, putting Dell in a coma for weeks. Well, he died on Saturday, and his sister tells me he had just retired and was looking forward to the future. This is the Dallas home 69-year-old Richard Dell bought for his retirement. He lived there just 3 weeks before Dallas police say Dell was assaulted in the parking lot of this Home Depot store on Skillman Street.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
This couple lives across the street from Dell.
Devastated. Totally devastated. I mean, it was shocking. Yet hard.
Though he hadn't lived there long, his new neighbors say Dell made an impression. The retired CFO had gone to Home Depot on the afternoon of April 11th to buy something for the house. Police say Dell was approached by Amber Gray, who asked him for money. When Dell declined, investigators say a man with Gray, Latoris Murphy, attacked Dell, putting him in a coma. I spoke to Dell's sister by phone.
These people just became extremely violent. And there was no reason, once my brother was down on the ground, there was no reason for them to continue. He was blind. He was paralyzed on one side. They took away a portion of his brain. It was just very devastating.
Mary Stroop says Dell underwent 3 operations. At one point, Stroop says he opened his eyes and tried to speak, but his words were incoherent. His new neighbors paid him a visit.
We'd gone to the hospital and, tried to bring back his memory as best we could, with cards, pictures of the neighborhood.
But Dell never recovered, and the new life he intended to build with new friends in a new neighborhood over before he had a chance to enjoy it.
It's just such a sad thing. He wanted to live his life, and he finally retired and got a chance to, and now he can't. These people took it away. And it was not necessary. It was not necessary.
Mary Stroop tells me she's very grateful to the Dallas police detectives and the district attorney's office who have been diligent in pursuing this case. Now, Latoris Murphy, who is now charged with murder, he'll be back here in court on Monday facing that new murder charge. There will be a celebration of life for Richard Dell at Westland Funeral Home located off Greenville Avenue. Clarice, that is going to happen on August 3rd, which would have been his 70th birthday.
Alex Boyer live. Thank you. There are a lot of unanswered questions tonight about a baby found in a dumpster in a Hearst strip mall. Police responded to a medical call at the Northeast Mall. That's where they found the mother and the baby behind the strip mall. Fox 4's Lynn Ann Wynn is there. Lynn Ann.
Clarice, police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding how the baby ended up in the dumpster, but the mother, police say, was still on scene when they got here.
It's heartbreaking, it really is, because things like that, you don't ever expect to happen in your own neighborhood.
It was just before 10 a.m. Friday morning. Several businesses in this strip mall on the 900 block of Melbourne were just getting ready to open up when they heard sirens.
I immediately saw a bunch of cop car SUVs, I think like 4 to 5 of them.
Police say a witness called them to respond to a medical call at this strip mall. When they arrived, they found a woman and say her infant was in the dumpster behind the businesses.
It's summer, and should the dumpsters have been cleaned today, that child would have been killed instantly. So it's gut-wrenching.
By 10 a.m., the heat index had reached 84 degrees.
That being a big tin casing with no air coming in or out, you can't live. A normal adult, you'd have to get out in a couple minutes, but a child, I couldn't even imagine.
Nobody in their right mind would do that, especially being a mother.
Hearst police are not saying how old they believe the infant is or whether it's a boy or a girl, but they do say the mother and baby were taken to hospitals and the child in good health.
That's a blessing. You gotta thank God for that.
And police are not identifying the mother or the child at this point. They're also not saying whether or not that mother will face any charges. But as a reminder, in the state of Texas, parents can anonymously give their baby over without penalties to an employee at any hospital, emergency health care facility, fire, or EMS station, as long as the child is 60 days or younger. And all 50 states have similar laws to this. Clarice?
Baby Moses law, and thankfully the baby today is safe in the hospital. Lynn-Ann, thank you. The process of picking a jury is underway in the trial of a former Balch Springs police officer charged with murder. Roy Oliver, who was fired after the deadly shooting of a teenager, was in the courtroom this morning as potential jurors filled out questionnaires at the Dallas County Courthouse. Oliver and his attorney had no comment about the upcoming trial. Oliver was indicted on a murder charge for the death of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards and 4 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. The indictment says in April 2017, Oliver fired his rifle into a car with Edwards and 3 other teenagers as they drove away from a party, ignoring officers' commands. Police were investigating underage drinking at the party and reports of gunshots. Within a day of releasing surveillance footage of a pickup truck wanted in a series of BB gun storefront shootings on Main Street in Grand Prairie, police make an arrest. Fox 4 News showed the video last night. A Dallas police officer saw the story and recognized the truck in the video driving by businesses. He called Grand Prairie police and led them to Fred Foster, who lives in Dallas. Police say Foster confessed to 21 cases since February where he shot out windows with a BB gun. He did not provide a motive. They also recovered the BB gun inside his Dodge Dually truck.
But in this case, we saw dozens of windows broken, dozens of times this guy came by and shot out these windows and doors. So it kept occurring. So we needed to do something, and deploying a lot of resources and assets to track this person down is what we had to do, and we'd do it again tomorrow if we need to.
Foster faces other charges as well as criminal mischief. He was already wanted on an arrest warrant for a theft charge out of Mesquite, and he was found in possession of narcotics. All of those charges are felonies. Let's take a live look now. This is Highway 75. Parts of it near the Plano-Richardson border will be closed this weekend. US 75 is going to be closed in both directions from Renner Road to 15th Street near the interchange with the President George Bush Turnpike. Traffic will be directed to frontage roads. The closures are going to take place because of a partial demolition of the second half of the Plano Parkway Bridge. The closure starts in about 4 hours. It runs until Monday, 5 a.m. Governor Greg Abbott says Texas is bigger and better than ever at the state Republican convention in San Antonio. The convention comes at the end of the week in which Texas lawmakers began weighing the governor's calls to arm more teachers and prioritize mental health. Governor Abbott vowed to defend the Second Amendment and harden campuses with extra police and metal detectors. He also reiterated a tough stance on immigration enforcement.
Not only will I enforce the ban on sanctuary cities, I will continue to secure our border.
Governor Abbott will face former Dallas County Sheriff and Democratic challenger Lupe Valdez this November. The convention wraps up tomorrow. According to new numbers from the Department of Homeland Security, nearly 2,000 children have been separated from their families at the U.S. border over a 6-week period. Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced a zero-tolerance policy to crack down on illegal entries in April. The policy has been widely criticized by church groups, politicians, and children's advocates who say it is inhumane. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins said yesterday the county will open its doors to children needing shelter. He's still waiting to hear back from the Refugee Resettlement Office to see if that's a possibility. President Trump's former campaign manager has been jailed. His bond was revoked because of a new charge of witness tampering. Paul Manafort had been out on $10 million bond and under house arrest. He was originally indicted on conspiracy and money laundering charges in Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Now he's accused of using encrypted messages in February, attempting to influence potential witnesses. Manafort will remain in custody as he now awaits 2 separate trials. Friends, family, and colleagues remembered a Weatherford firefighter who died. They remembered him as a family man and a Christian.
Weatherford Fire Department transmits the last call for number 308. Firefighter Richard Andy Lawler, Jr.
Andy Lawler was battling wildfires in West Texas when he suffered what appeared to be a heart attack. He died on the way to the hospital in Odessa. His funeral was held at Northside Baptist Church. He is survived by his wife and 2 children.
One person close to him said, God couldn't make too many Andys or we wouldn't have anybody to look up to.
His family has asked for donations to be made to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation.
Life, there's always going to be a bunch of bumps, but it's always about being patient.
A mother gives her daughter another chance at life with a kidney donation. The transplant was watched by tens of thousands of people on Facebook Live.
For the second straight year, Cowboys defensive tackle David Irving is facing a suspension. Why the Cowboys could still be equipped to handle his absence. And why this year could be Jordan Spieth's worst ever as a professional golfer. Later in sports.